episode 218. How's it going?
It's going good. How's it going with you?
Cast is gone.
Cass is gone. Yay.
Yay.
Splint's gone.
Woohoo!
Yay. Almost halfway there. Welcome back, guys. We are recapping week number 4 of Big Brother Canada, season number 9.
And it was a pretty interesting week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Quite a bit happened. As you know, you remember Kiefer won HOH. So Monday kind of recapped that HOH win for Kiefer. And so that was pretty cool that he won. Remember, it's a shuffleboard. And it came down to a tie between Kiefer and Austin. And they had to reshoot. And Kiefer beat her. Because he got like a 9, I think, and she got what? Maybe a 6, I think. It was kind of skirted the line, so they said it was 6. But so, and it's funny, when they were standing there, they both said, I got you. I got you, I promise.
Almost very Sunny and Cher. I got
you, babe. But he said that once before, if you remember.
I got you.
I got you, and then still put...
yeah, I got you.
So,
yeah.
I got you, alright. So, Kiefer won. So, power is still in the Sunsetters' hands.
Yes.
That's reverted back to the Sunsetters.
So it kind of threw things up into the air because they didn't really know where Kiefer's mind was at.
Well, because what's interesting is those outside the Sunsetters think he's kind of on an island on his own. Like, they think there's a bunch of them in the middle. And there is, but probably not as many as they think there is. Like, Tara was saying she thought the ones in the middle are Kiefer, Tina, herself, and Victoria. Now, granted, remember, Tina used to be part of the Sunsetters.
That's
with
true.
Kiefer. And Kiefer still is part of the Sunsetters, which is really one of the first alliances we had heard about in the game. So, but Tina's kind of pulled away from them. Now, we really didn't get to see what happened there, because that was really before the feed started, but she kind of pulled away from them. But she also kind of said she didn't like how they're kind of being dictated to, so that's really why she pulled away from them. And I think Kiefer kind of has a similar, because they've had conversations about that, Tina and Kiefer, and Tara, really, because Tara knows now that they were kind of together a little bit, and they've had conversations about that, Kiefer, but he's like saying, who else am I going to go to right now?
Yeah.
He's not in a duo. I mean, pretty much almost everybody else is in a duo.
Well, that's it.
Except for, like, him, really, and Victoria. So, really, that's about it. So, I mean, well, I guess Beth, too. Because, I mean, she's kind of slid in with Ty and Jed, but really, they're going to take each other out at this point over her. So, otherwise, like, but anyway, he's thinking, well, there's not a lot of places I can go right now, at least, except with the Sunsetters. And the remaining ones are, like, Beth, Jed, Ty, and Kiefer. So,
but it's a sound philosophy. It's a sound strategy. Work a secondary deal because you know it's always good to have something else in the back pocket.
Well, of course, yeah.
And so everyone's in his ear. What are you gonna do? Who are you gonna put up? And he's not really saying a whole lot, and that's what made people nervous.
Well, I think he kind of, when he was talking to Tina and Tara, and really the Sunsetters, about who he would consider putting up. Now, of course, Kyle, Rohan, and a lot of the other side thought he should actually go after Jed and Ty, and or Beth, because they voted him out, and save them. But as we know, they don't seem to know that they're in an alliance. So he's thinking, why am I going to go after my own alliance members? They really had no choice. It was one of the 2 alliance members that they're going to have to vote out. And of course, he knew they were already closer to LaToya anyway, so that they would obviously keep her. And they were always upfront about that. Yeah. So he's kind of, even in the last couple weeks, he's said there's 2 other couples really on the other side, not that they're really working together, but they're not with them, that he's most concerned about. And that's Kyle and Rohan, and Austin and Brayden. Mm-hmm. A lot of them are afraid of Austin because they can't seem to read her. Same with Brayden. She's kind of like very tight-lipped about where she stands.
Yeah.
And what she would do and all that kind of stuff. At least maybe not Brayden, but pretty much with everybody else. And Kyle and Rohan, because they're fairly strong. They're pretty good with competitions and things like that. And strategic. So, but he's always kind of leaned more toward putting up Kyle and Rohan at this point. I think he finds him a little bit more of a threat.
You know, I kind of don't blame him. Yeah. You know? And
well, plus it came out, and he didn't like that. Remember when they came at him in the pantry, and he didn't like that.
And I think that's what the boys at first were like, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if he does that as a retaliatory thing. You know, we came at him hard, you know.
They did apologize, like, profusely.
Oh, yeah.
But, like, and I like what Kiefer said to them. Mm-hmm. Apology, yeah, I appreciate the apology, but apologies in the house are like promises. They don't mean very much in the Big Brother house.
Exactly.
They really don't. Because, like, they're saying, oh, we won't put you up. If Victoria, I think, said the same thing. We won't put you up. You won't be a replacement or anything. And like he said, he goes, well, I'm going to hear that from everybody.
Yeah.
You're all going to
kiss my butt.
You're all going to say that because you don't want to get nominated. Yeah. It's the way the game goes.
And so, he more or less said, this is my plan. I'm going to break up a duo.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
And it has to start happening, you know?
Well, yeah, you can't keep having these duos go forward. You can't keep picking what you would consider your weaker players. Because that's like Victoria said the same thing last week. You can't pick off these targets. You're playing Big Brother. You have to go for your bigger targets. So, basically, in the end, he ended up putting up Kyle and Rohan, which I think pretty much was his idea anyway.
Well, and he more or less said, you know why you're here. You earned both of you earned those seats.
Right.
So, and Rohan, you could kind of see Rohan's like, whatever, dude. You know, and Kyle, like the typical jock kind of look, you know, like, okay, man, you know.
Well, because then at one point they go in the ballroom and they're basically, I don't understand it. What exactly don't you understand here? I don't understand it. You know, why would they put us up? They voted him out, and because one, by now you'd think you should know they're kind of working together, but I mean they've been that good at being able to hide it. So, but also it's not even just that. It's the fact of look at how you come at him.
You did him dirty,
right? And that's really not the first time.
No,
so it's one time, but it's not really the only time.
Yeah. So you know what?
Makes sense.
I'm sorry. I'm not letting you do me dirty in a game like this. Guess what?
Well, because then at one point, this before Veto, I believe, was played, or I think it was before it was played, or it might have been before the ceremony. Kyle and Rohan went to Kiefer because they're trying to get him to maybe put somebody else up that anybody wouldn't mind voting out, and they were saying, oh, Victoria wanted to put you up. They're more or less throwing Victoria under the bus. Now, they're supposedly working with Victoria a little bit.
Supposedly.
And, you know, and they're like, oh, well, you know, she was going to put you up. No, if you put her up, there wouldn't be more blood on your hands. Nobody would be that upset because she's really not working. She's like an island on herself and all that kind of stuff. So it's kind of okay.
Yeah.
And what's funny is Kiefer turned around and told Victoria what they said.
But what also was funny, well, all this, you know, yammer back and forth, Victoria was like, you know, like the cartoon with the bulldog and the little yappy chihuahua. Like, she's like, are you okay? Can we talk? Can I get you a coffee? You know, and...
Yeah, because she's worried, too. She put him up.
Yeah.
She could very well be a target of Kiefer's.
And he was straight, you know, I kept quiet about our deal.
Yeah.
You know, you keep quiet.
Right.
You know.
Well, I think, like he said, no, he didn't like the fact that she put him up, but she put him up to kind of guarantee
who she wanted
to go home would go home, because she figured they wouldn't vote Kiefer out.
Yeah.
You know, and I think she's not really his target at this point. Not at this point. I'm not saying he wouldn't go after her, but I think he wanted to break the couples up or the twosomes up. That was more important to him than going after someone who really doesn't have like a second or whatever, you know, at that point anyway.
I also remember what was kind of getting talked to him about as well before veto. It's like Ty said, "Well, what happens? Who are you going to put up?
Yeah.
Say one of them wins and takes themselves down."
Yeah.
This is when Austin's name got slid in.
Well, as you know, they've been trying to get Austin up for a week or two now.
Yeah.
So, and Kiefer's like, I don't care. Yeah, he doesn't really trust Austin either. So yeah, it doesn't matter for him. If it's still breaking up a fairly strong twosome. So whatever kind of thing. So then we get to veto, and it was kind of funny. They're all dressed like groundhogs or something, and they had to put their head up through these holes, and it was like this little obstacle course where they actually had to blow a ball with their mouths like through this obstacle course into a hole, and you had to get 10 of them to win veto
into this tube,
and you had to avoid all these other holes, because we just drop into the ground.
You'd have to start back at the beginning. And Rohan really pulled it out, man. He's like, I gotta win this.
Well, he knew he's the target.
You know, and so.
Well, Rohan did really well.
And Jed.
Kyle did. Who? Jed? Well, yeah, because Jed didn't want him to win, so he was trying his best. Like you said, he didn't come here not to win competition. It's like, so many of them are so afraid of being seen as big targets because they can win comps. And so Jed's like, nah, I'm not going to worry about that.
Forget that.
You know, I'm here to win. So it came really close between Jed and Rohan. But in the end, actually, Rohan won veto.
So, veto ceremony comes around. Rohan says to Kyle, you know, tell me why. Kyle kind of gave a...
Well, Kyle, I mean, he knew he was going to take himself off anyway, so he basically just said, you know, congratulations, you earned it, you know, and he took himself off. Yeah. So, Kiefer had taken into consideration, I think it was his backup plan anyway, so he put up Austin.
And she looked ticked.
Well, because, and then of course Kyle, you know, Kyle and Austin have kind of got a little bit of thing going on. And so after they said it was complete, Kyle's like goes after, oh, you're such a hypocrite to Kiefer.
You talk about truth and all that.
You talk about truth and all this, and that you told Austin that you wouldn't put her up, that you got her, that, and basically he said, I never said she wouldn't be a replacement, which he didn't. And he didn't really say much.
Nope.
But Victoria jumped in and said, what about you? You're hypocrites. You're going around, putting my name out there.
Yeah. And
we're supposed to be working together. Well, she didn't say that, but she said that later.
And Kyle just kind of...
Well, yeah, what are you going to say?
And so he kind of had his little tantrum and stomped upstairs and wandered off.
But they did talk later, and they more or less said to her, you know, that was just, it was a venting, it was just a way of showing everybody else what a hypocrite Kiefer is. It had nothing really to do with you and all that, but we're good, right? Kind of thing. And it's for Victoria more or less said, yeah, we're good. But she tells, like, diary room, okay,
we ain't good.
I'll tell you we're good, but we're not good.
Yeah, we're done, buddy. So we come to...
And during actually all this, Kiefer's been having more and more conversations with Tina and Tara. So it sounds like, I don't know for sure if they're that receptive. They might be, because Tina worked with Kiefer with Sunsetters. Maybe trying to slide in a little bit with them.
Yep.
So, and who knows, if they could pull Victoria in, they actually could be a pretty good force them there.
If they keep it on the
and if you think about it, they'd have the power in the house because it'd be 4 of them.
Also, we forgot to mention, Tina and Tara got called to the diary room.
Right.
And
this was for a little bit of fun.
And because they're both the
moms
in the house.
And there's a discussion about that they had together, too.
And it's like...
They're somewhat the older ones in the house. Along with Kiefer, actually.
If you moms can, without getting caught, go into the pantry. And chug a beer...
Well, no, they said if you could get into the pantry without being noticed, they had like
alcohol on
like a party kind of thing. Yeah. They were allowing them to have alcohol, which they're not getting that much this season. No. So that they'd have both wine and beer, and they could have a beer for themselves too while they're in there, and then they'd have meals too. Yeah. So kind of like a party that they had for them, and that's even for the have-nots. So,
yeah.
They did. So, I mean, hello, the whole house heard that they got called in the diary room, so they know something's up. And even when they came down, Braden's looking at them, something's up.
Yeah, what's going on?
And so it looked like Tara they're trying to be casual. Tara looks like she's going to go up the stairs, and Tina started to go in the pantry, and like, oh yeah, I'm going to go in the pantry. So they both go in the pantry, and then it's locked.
And they're like... at the door listening.
And they're all listening, because it's locked. It's never locked, so they know something's up. And they're all listening at the door.
So they come out, tell them what they had to do. They got a party, like
a dinner party kind of thing.
And these people lost their dang minds.
They were giving, like, lap dances and...
it was spin the bottle.
Yeah.
Must-see TV.
Yeah.
Wow.
But I think it was more just for fun, really.
Yeah, to take the seriousness out of the situation.
Yeah, and it was,
and just to see some of the funny moments up to that point, like...
yeah, they showed them on eviction night.
And, so we got to the eviction.
Yeah.
And, surprise, surprise.
Well... Actually, leading up to the eviction, it looked like, because they had conversations with Kiefer and with each other, even Tina and Tara talked with Rohan and Kyle, and it looked like for a while they were planning on flipping, not really flipping, because they talked to us, to Kiefer, it wouldn't have actually been a surprise to him, about voting out Austin instead of Kyle.
Yeah.
And we know... Judson and Ty wouldn't mind because they did
that's who they were pushing for.
They wanted her gone.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Maybe it's something that was in the feeds that I didn't see. Because feeds are off a lot. So
yeah, this year especially.
Yeah, I don't know why. But I guess they just initially kept with the initial. They voted Kyle out. So they went with the start of the new HOH, which is something completely different this year. They've never done this before. They're calling it the Invisible HOH. Nobody will know who the HOH is, except the HOH. And now, of course, us will see it. Hasn't aired yet.
No.
So we actually don't know who the HOH is.
Spoiler!
We don't know who the HOH is.
But we know who they nominated?
We know who they nominated, but we'll tell you. And it might give you an idea of who it could be. Maybe. Basically, they stood separated, like, when they're being asked the questions and they have to answer them. So this one, they had to count rocks as it fell off this conveyor belt. And, not out loud, they had to, click them, and the number behind them would go off. And whoever got the highest, I guess, or the closest, was the winner. I don't know what they would do if it was a tie, so maybe count them again, I don't know. Or maybe, how they do the number kind of thing.
Oh, the chalkboard question, yeah.
So, I'm not really sure we'll find out tomorrow, even how they found out they won. Because it couldn't be announced to everybody. So, I'm not sure. I don't think they explained that. Not that I caught, anyway.
So, you said...
So, we don't know, actually, who it is.
Whomever won it got all the power, all the perks.
They get all the power. They don't get the room, though.
And
they don't get the HOH room, but they have all the power and all the perks being the HOH.
And they get to play the following week. And they get to play
the following week's HOH. So that's like the last HOH. So that's, again, it's nothing they've ever done before. So it's interesting that they've done this. So we kind of had a hint of who it might be, because on the feet. Now, whether or not it is questionable because of two things, but we'll tell you one thing. It sounds like it could be Victoria, because she's been telling the cameras, should I put up myself? Who should I put up? That kind of thing. And even some of the house guests have kind of thought it was her. But why it's questionable is two things. The HOH usually not a half-knot, and Victoria's a half-knot this week. So that's one thing. The other thing is who has been nominated. The nominees are Austin and Brayden.
The Bossy Glossies.
The Bossy Glossies, which Victoria's supposedly a part of.
Supposedly.
So, why would you put up your alliance? Unless something has gone horribly wrong, or that's not your true intent to target. But see, then you're playing a dangerous game, because you don't know who win POV.
That's it.
That's the problem. We already know who won POV, but you don't like to hear that yet. So,
one spoiler per
week. So it'll be interesting to find out. We'll find out tomorrow who actually won HOH. But we'll see if the speculation's right or not.
Or maybe you guys can tell us who you think.
Who do you think won HOH?
Be interesting to see what you
Let
thought.
us know. Anyway, that is it for this week. Thank you guys for watching. If you liked it, which we hope you did, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you know when we go live talking about Big Brother Canada.
Exactly.
Have a great week, guys. See you next week.
Bye, guys.
Bye.